Hey everyone, thanks for being here. Today's card is going to be made using this leftover piece of scrapbook paper. So it had like a mixed media type of vibe, so I was just trying to decide which way I wanted to cut it, and I decided to cut this part here, and I'm making it a little bit larger than an A2 card base because I want to tear the edges of it. And so I've got a few things from my stash. I've got these essential greenery dies from Prism Studios and this circle, which is also from Prism Studios. And I've taken my salvaged patina distress oxide ink and I'm just coloring some of these greenery pieces. I figured that I would probably use two of them on here. So I'm just inking them up and trying to be very gentle because they are a little bit delicate. But I think that color goes pretty nicely with the color that is on that mixed media type paper. So once I've got those inked up, I am going to go ahead and tear the edges of that paper and give kind of that distressed look. Again, just kind of eyeballing it and then just measuring it on my card base to see if I've got it trimmed off enough. And I think we're just about good here. And I am liking this so far, but I decided I needed to find something else black from my stash of die cuts, so I had some hearts that were also by Prism Studios. And then I'm going to use this new stamp and die set that my mom just bought me. It is the Birthday Wishes set by Alex Siberia Designs, and I'm going to make a birthday card with this. So I grabbed a white piece of scrap cardstock, and I'm lining those up in my MISTI, and going to stamp them with my VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And then I will heat set them with some clear embossing powder. And then I will use the coordinating dies and cut them out. And this is my first time using this stamp and die set, so I was really hoping that I was getting it lined up properly, because sometimes it does take me a little bit with new ones to figure out where exactly it should go. But they cut out really nicely and I had them straight, so that was a bonus. So again, just lining things up on my card to see how those looked. And I thought it looked a little bit washed out, so I thought, let me stamp them on black cardstock and heat set them with white embossing powder. Now, it has been a while since I've done that, so I brought out my WOW embossing ink, and when I put it on, there were all these little like crumbs from the pad that were flaking off, so I had to get a different one. I think I have just used that WOW embossing ink pad too many times on distressed edges that it's ripped the pad, so I'll have to invest in another one. And then another fail here, because I haven't done this in so long, I forgot to use the anti-static pouch. Yeah, so I wiped it all off and then added the anti-static. I'm doing it again, but I wasn't sure if that was going to work well over the stamped image, and it didn't. So, third time's the charm. And this time, it actually works. I rarely do this with the black cardstock and the white embossing powder because I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I find that anti-static powder doesn't completely rub off, and then the black is not as crisp of a black anymore. For those of you that use this more often, what am I doing wrong here? I wiped it off with a paper towel. Maybe I should use a microfiber cloth. I don't know. Anyways, it worked well enough. But I'm hoping somebody can give me some tips so that I can perfect it better. Anyways, again, oh, here's where I'm wiping it off. And then I will use the coordinating dies again and cut it out and start assembling. So I'm finding these dies are really easy to line up because this is twice I've done them now and they've worked great. But I do like the black a little bit better than the white on there, so now I'm using my art glitter glue and adhering things down. Adding some of the leaves over on one side of the circle, and then on the other side. Have some coffee while that's gluing into place. And this card was pretty easy to do. I mean, that background paper really did most of it, and then everything else I kind of had in my stash, so that worked out really well. I did want to add a few embellishments on here. So I brought out some nail art gems and some diamond art gems. And I chose some of the darker ones. I thought there were black ones I was putting on here, and I realized a few of them were navy. So it does take me a little bit to get the right color because I just wanted black ones on here. And then it did take me forever to figure out the placement. That is one area that I kind of struggle in. I overthink it way too much. There have been a few times in the last little while where I've placed gems down and I am happy with where they are, but not today. I kind of went around, I wasn't sure where to put them, and finally I thought, oh, I put some on some of the leaves. But it did take me a bit to get there. Hopefully I'm almost done. Okay, here we go. Gluing them into place. And this card is finished. I'm quite happy with how it turned out, and I need a lot of birthday cards in my stash right now, so yeah, there we go. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful, peaceful day.